Good morning, my Inkies. It is the next day. It is early-ish in the morning, a lot earlier than I started yesterday. So I am working on finishing this. I've just realized her wing isn't in place, but I did notice that if I'm not careful, my tip-in is going to get folded. And I did try and remove the sticky tape and then accidentally cut into the second page behind there because I was being impatient. So I'm going to try and work out if I'm going to try and stick her, because obviously I didn't glue very well because I am really kind of lazy when it comes to gluing. So I could probably stick her. Maybe if I try and remove this wing. So if I move it here and just reposition her a bit further over so that her wing doesn't get damaged in the flip process. This is what I was talking about with tip-in mechanics. Obviously, not taking my own advice as usual. So now her wing won't get bent in the process, so I can properly glue her right down. She's not up off the tip-in and she's not down off the page. Or she is off the tip-in, but not off this part of the page, if you understand what I'm talking about. But I will have to do something with this bit. Let me just see if I quickly close it, is it going to bend? It does. So I need to maybe chop off a little bit of this part of the tip-in, of the elongated part, making sure that I don't cut into that piece there. So I'm going to find my glue stick. I have my glue stick here, but I can't find the lid, and I'm pretty sure the top dried out overnight. I did tidy up the chaos. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm also going to, where's that gel pen and stuff? Here. So I'm going to do some journal writing here. I've got to go print out my quote. I'm not going to handwrite it. I'm actually going to collage it on because collage was the main medium. Do a little bit of pen work and stuff around this sort of area, and then pretty much that be done. So like all the finer details that do take time, especially my line work and stuff, because I'm very fiddly. I did lots of little fiddly bits and pieces. I'm kind of liking the pale pink now. Yesterday I was not too keen on it, but today I'm liking it. I have a lot of filming to do today for you guys and also Jane and YouTube and stuff. So I'm going to try and not take too much time finishing this off. Because when I get into this zone of like the line work and stuff, I take my time and I do a lot of slow methodical pen lines. That's my favorite thing to do, and it calms me down. But today I just don't got the time. For some reason I make time for line work, but for some reason I really like the way that looks there. I don't know if I'll leave it there or whether I'll not yet, but I kind of like it. There's nowhere else for it to go except down here. Then anyway, so I'm going to glue her down, get out my pen. Pretty sure, is this my, let's see if this is the one that actually works. Yes, it does. I've gone through a couple of these, so I should probably throw them out because I keep picking up the ones with no ink and then raging that there's no ink in them. So that's my line work pen. I was going to do my line work in silver, but I want it to be seen. It'll show up beautifully on this, and that's why I'm going to do my journaling in the silver on this. But like my line work will be done in black, I think. I need to work out what I want to do about this tip-in, or whether I just let it ride and be very gentle when I close my book, because it's just on that corner. So if I'm careful, it technically shouldn't bend. Yeah, that's just bending because it's not glued down. Right, I'm going to put this bit on speed again and move my phone out of the way because I get notifications like crazy, and that will just drive me nuts in the editing process. There's my pile of bits and bobs that I've got left over from yesterday. I don't think I'm going to collage anything else. I don't think there's anything else I want to collage. Did I just get glue on my nail. I'm gonna go and print out my quote. Patricia asked if it needed to be a literal quote or using the word freedom somehow, all that sort of stuff. It is purely interpretive. If you want the feeling of freedom, if you want to be literal and use just the word freedom, I'm actually using, I tried to find a quote on creative freedom, but I couldn't find any that I liked. So I need to go back to the drawing board and find a quote. And probably collage that down here or across here, not sure yet, but I want to do some more detail on these flowers so they don't look so random. But anyway, I am really enjoying how this is looking. I love how she came out. She's probably one of my faves actually, and I wish I could scan her, but because I'm using a Tisha eye, I can't put her in your collage sheets, which annoys me. I kind of was like, oh, maybe I should take off her eye and put a different eye there. But it's done now. So unless I superimpose a different eye on there, you guys can't have her for collage sheets, which is sad. But if you would like her, but with a different eye, let me know, because I will make it happen digitally if you really love her. But do keep in mind that she's just a, oh my God, I need a cup of tea. I haven't had a cup of tea yet. And I haven't got my rings or anything on. That's how you can tell it's really early. I am not ready for the day, but I know that I need to show up and I need to do my work early today because I was in such a frazzle yesterday. So I am going to do just that. I might actually use one of my numbers. Yeah, I might use some of one of my scrappy numbers, I think, up in the top corner and do some journaling. So might do that. We'll see. All right, my loves, I'm going to put this on speed and go print out my quote. So let's get started. I'm just adhering my girl down. I had some serious tape runner issues. My glue was run out, so I was having some adhesive problems. But I found another glue stick and I just started rearranging her wings to make sure that she wasn't off the page. I did figure out that she was a bit too far towards the middle, which meant her wing got bent. Like I said in yesterday's video, tip-in mechanics is no joke. So I am just adding an excess piece of paper to make sure that her legs don't dangle and get bent, because they're only made of paper. They're not photo paper, these ones, so they're fragile. So I had to give her something to stand on. And then that bottom piece needed to be covered as well, because I didn't want it to be blank. Now I did get a question about the tissue paper. This is literally $2 tissue paper from the Reject Shop. It's no fancy tissue paper, but do use a glue stick, because if you use a wet glue, you're going to have more prone to tearing, and just be very, very soft and gentle when you're applying your glue, because it can still tear. But if you're a little bit, your glue stick needs to be new-ish, not dry, because the dry glue stick will rip it. So I'm just basically putting my quote on there and cutting up the single words to make it easy to fit on. I was going to put it on in one big chunk, but I decided, nah, we'll put it in with a few little words and put it up the top. I tried it underneath the legs, but there was just not enough room. And I didn't want to put it on that blue section too much, because I knew that I was using my gel pen to do the writing. So I'm layering that quote over the petals as well, and that's trying to make it look more cohesive, making my things talk to each other. So that's how we're going to try and get a bit more unison, and instead of it being like stuck on its own, I'm putting it over something. Yes, some of the petals get covered, but that's totally okay. That's what makes it work. And I'm just scribbling around those words and basically filling in some of my flowers just to give them a bit more depth. And I'm using my Tiki Graphic pen, as always, 0.1, old favorite, and I'm trying to work out what I want to do. So I'm just sort of thinking, and then getting out the number 15 for the date today, which I didn't end up using. So all this looking for the number 15, which drove me insane because I must have flipped past it. I didn't actually use the 15, and that was purely because I couldn't find a place. When I am looking for a place with collage, I'll put it everywhere that I want to, and if I doesn't get that looks good there moment, it doesn't make it. So this make time thing had been hanging around the whole time, and I just said, that's it, you want to be there, that's where you're going to be. So I'm just taking my daughter's gel pen and doing a little bit of journaling. I wanted my journaling all along that blue page, so you don't really need to see me filling in all my writing, because you can't see my writing anyway because I'm left-handed. I actually really love how that silver pen catches the light. Totally love it. So this is a Jelly Roll pen in a hot pink, and I am just going around that tag. Now, Sandra asked where the tag came from, where the letters came from. It was actually with my necklace that I bought from When Katie Met Soda. So it was attached to the necklace box, and I'd been wanting to use it in my journal because it was a piece of ephemera that I really, really liked the look of. And it had been just stuck to the page randomly at the beginning of the video, so I decided to make it part of my page. So I couldn't tell you exactly where the font came from. So I grabbed out my HP Sprocket and just printed out a photo that I took of John and I on the weekend in the city, and it's just a picture of us holding hands. And I also printed out another picture, but because it didn't really fit with the spread, I just put it aside. The picture that didn't make it was actually a photograph from a children's book I saw on the weekend. And it was a children's book that I will be purchasing and I will show you guys, but it is stunning and it just made my heart go boom. So that little picture was a page from the book that I took. Just using some of my classic-y washi tape that I bought when I did my Baumkuchen order, and ripped off the word Sunday, well SUN, so the abbreviation for Sunday, using my Dymo to put in the date as well down the bottom, just to sort of date when the picture was taken. Now you guys wanted to know how and why I think outside the box like this. It is truly down to constantly thinking, how can I make this more me? How can I change this? How can I alter this? What would look good? What would look weird? What would look quirky? My mind is constantly trying to make things topsy-turvy, basically. And I don't know if that's just because I've had years of doing it and it's become second nature to me, but I really am always trying to spend my time finding ways to make different things. I don't like being one of the crowd. I don't like doing what everyone else is doing. I am always trying to find ways to look at things differently, to be weird, to be quirky, to be left of center. I eat a hole in my pancakes before I actually eat my pancakes. So I will cut a hole in my pancakes, eat the hole, and then keep eating my pancakes. Like, I don't like doing things normally. And I hope that that is something that you guys get into your DNA, because the world is so much more fun when you're an oddball. And that's kind of why I created the oddballs, because that's how I feel, like a crazy oddball, and I'm totally okay with that, more than okay with that. I always think, how can I make this different? How can I make this magical? You know, I'm always wanting to be the weird and wonderful one. So it's just practice, guys. Using your imagination is practice. I urge you to do it too. So I am basically done. I haven't done any pen work on this side because I'm probably going to scan her, and I was going to do some journal writing, and then I realized if I'm going to scan her for collage sheets and alter the eye and stuff, I don't want to have my writing on there because that would be a logistical nightmare. So I am going to add some writing with my black pen down here, but you guys don't need to see me write. I did my journaling over here in the silver pen, so that looks really cool against the blue. This is the quote I chose, and I did a whole heap of leaves because I thought there was just something missing, and obviously this isn't a real flower, obviously it's made up, so I thought I can add leaves as well if I want to, and I just wanted to do some doodling and stuff. I did add a sprocket photo. This was taken on the weekend. It's just hubby and I holding hands, and I liked that it coincided with the "We Are Infinite" quote from my one of my Happy Mail parcels. I might because there's matte medium on here, I'm loath to do any sort of drawing or anything. I don't want to stuff up my nib, so I might just leave it like that. And plus I like the look of that exposed sort of wing thing. I'm going to do a little bit of journaling up here around her head, or maybe just some line work. I'll probably just outline this over and over, just methodical line work, that sort of thing. I like the look of that. That's just something that'll keep me entertained on the couch later on tonight. But this is, I realized that my tip-in has almost become a whole nother page of my journal. It's almost got to the size of A5. And I'm okay with that, quite okay with that. I do love how it all looks together. I love that I finally got to do something with this page. It's been blank for a while since my Davin party video. And then on the back, obviously, I've still got all this weird half-started pages. I've got stuff to put on them. I just haven't gotten to finish them yet, so that'll be on my agenda. I think I might do a week in the life of a journaler series and finish those randomly off in bits and bobs. But here is my interpretation of our prompt for this month. I'm just trying to think, can I get the prompt in there somewhere without it being too cumbersome? I did think about like tipping it in down here and making it like a pull out, but I don't know. I don't know if I will do that or not. I don't know. So we'll see. Or I might just put it back in the box and see if I can reimagine it another time. So I'm just going to do my journaling on there, and then I'll obviously take photos for a blog post for the other inkies that don't get the process videos, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. I really love the whole look of it all. It was something that I wouldn't have normally, you know, done on my own. Definitely not the butterfly wing flowers and that sort of stuff. I don't usually work with butterflies at all, actually, which is strange because they are such lovely creatures. But I love how it's all turned out. So that is it for me. That is your quick bonus video. I know not much happened, but it needed that little bit of ending to help me go forth. So now I'm going to do a little bit of journaling on the couch, just some writing, and go scan this girl. And then if I add some pen work, you'll see that in the blog post. But I kind of like just how it is. I like all the mismatched patterns and the backgrounds and stuff. I kind of like her just as she is. I did try and put the number for the day over here, but I may end up just putting it here or here after I've done the scanning and stuff. So that was kind of why I didn't put that here, because I realized that I was thinking about scanning it. So they'll probably end up a number there or something like that. That's the only alteration that I'll do, like off camera. I did think about putting it here, here, here. I don't know. It might make it, it might not. We'll see, we'll see. They are quite large and I've already got a lot going on, so I think some words will be lovely. Now I am going to get working on the Davin Party project, and I'm doing tissue paper with your mermaid markers. So I'm gonna do that. And then I'm gonna do a video about the pouches. So that is what I'm going to do. One for YouTube, one for you guys. Obviously you guys will get a lot more information and a lot more chatting, that sort of thing, and the Q&A video as well. So I need to make some space on this SD card. I hope you've enjoyed it. Keep putting your pages into the thread. You'll see the image in the Facebook group if you're going to take on the challenge. Don't feel obliged if you don't want to. Do not feel like you have to, but I thought it would be a great way for us to do something together and see everyone's different take on the prompt. So that is it for me, my loves. I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye. And if my printer would print me some, but I really love how they look, and I love that bright, bold colors. These also lend themselves well to really bold colors. You can color in the backgrounds of these. I'm actually going to leave this one blank, I think, and I might, yeah, I'll leave this one blank. I can just see me putting a graphic background on it. Quite easily, actually, because I love me some graphic background. So my loves, I hope you enjoyed this little spark starter. It wasn't quite little now that I've, you know, put it all together, but I really want you guys to just let loose and play with color and pattern and